Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'll wait for a few more people to get in. Hey, what's up, Louie? Yes, you may join in. You definitely may join in. Everybody can join in and have fun. We're going to have a fun talk today. A little bit less stress, a little bit more fun, loose kind of conversation. I'll wait a few more minutes for everybody to get in and then I'll start talking. So let people get in here and then I'll begin. You guys can talk about whatever until people start showing up. Can you guys hear me okay? Whoever's in the chat. Just trying to make sure that my sound is working properly because last time when I did the Rumble stream, it was whoever was there, you know how messed up that was. It took me like 15 minutes to get the sound right. It was pretty bad. But I don't think that should happen again. Hey, what's up, Trace? I saw your message, Trace, on Telegram. I just haven't had time to get back to you. But I do want to talk to you about some stuff when you have time. It doesn't have to be today or anytime soon. But just some things I want to talk to you about. Yeah. All right. People are showing up. I purposely didn't put any specific topics in the title for a couple of reasons. One, I just wanted to see who would show up just to chit chat. And two, because I want to just talk about whatever. I don't want to just focus on whatever topics I put in the title, right? So it's kind of like real talk. When I do my real talk episodes, and I just want to talk about whatever. I don't really want to just focus on whatever is in the title. And I'm probably going to do that a lot more often. Because, again, the streams are for me to hang out with you guys and talk about whatever. It's not really supposed to be just me preaching to you guys. That's what the videos are for, which I'm going to do less of. Because I think most of the people that watch me are pretty smart and know what's going on in the world. So I don't really feel right preaching to you guys. But there are some things I do want to share. Like I talked about sharing the history of the universe, the true history, like what Kim is doing with her series. She put out one video. She said she's going to do more. I want to do my own version of that. And weirdly enough, it's probably going to be very similar to whatever Kim puts out. But I'll show you where I got my information. And then whenever Kim does her videos, I can compare. We can compare notes and see what matches up with and what doesn't. And like I said before, when things start to line up with different credible sources, that's when you start to know what the truth is, right? Because a lot of things she put out in her real history video matched up with a lot of things I already knew about the history of the earth and the universe for that matter. What I will say is the YouTube streams are going to be more relaxed, chill, laid back, obviously for obvious reasons, right? Because YouTube is very strict. So it's hard for me to go hard on YouTube. But if you were there for the Rumble stream, you saw how hard I went there. And honestly, after I got all that out of my system, I feel a lot better. Because I've been wanting to say that for like 2 or 3 years on YouTube, but I couldn't. So it felt so good to just get all that out. I had a small little headache afterwards because I was like, man, I've been waiting so long to get this stuff out of my system. And now that I got it out there, I'm probably going to be more relaxed overall. But anyways, so what do you guys want to talk about? I can ramble, or you guys can hit me with something you guys want to talk about. It's up to you guys. Oh yeah, let me say about the Rumble streams and the YouTube streams. I have a stream schedule that I put out in the community tab, and I also put a stream schedule in the Telegram chat. And all the links to everything are always in the description of every video. So you can always find, if I say Telegram, it's in the description. If I say Twitch, it's in the description. If I say Rumble, it's in the description. So every single link is always in the description of every video. But the Telegram has a stream schedule, and the community tab on YouTube has a stream schedule. It sucks because, like on BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble, there's no real place to post like community notes or anything like that. So I'm probably gonna have to make a video just for them, so they know what's going on with that. But yeah, because I have like 100 and something subs on Rumble and 100 and something on BitChute, so I don't want to leave them in the dark. Trace said, "What do you think has to happen for this crazy world we live in to start to heal?" Trace, it's very simple actually. It's just everybody's mind has to change at the same time. That's the hard part. It's easy to do, but hard to get done. So all everyone has to do is change their mind on the way the world works and the way they see the world, and see it for what it is. But unfortunately, there are too many lazy thinkers and lazy minds where people just want to be told what to think, how to feel, what to believe, who to follow. And that's what's leading to where we are now. Because every time people complain about this system or this government or this politician or whoever, they don't realize that they're contributing to the system that is causing those issues because they're supporting it. They're voting, they're having faith in it, they believe in it, they believe that's how society is supposed to be, even though there have been many civilizations in the past, in the true history of Earth, that didn't have these systems. So people have these beliefs that we have to have things like this. Things have to be this way. We have to have a government. We have to, like I made a video a long time ago, like 3 or 4 months ago, where this guy got mad at me in the comment sections on YouTube, and he was like, how dare you put Trump and Biden in the same sentence? They're completely different, and the system that we have is government. It's what we have. And this guy was getting so upset because I talked about Trump, and I was like, bro, calm your shit, relax, and understand what I'm saying. First of all, Trump doesn't give a shit about you. Second of all, you don't need the system. You have been brainwashed, trained to believe that you have to have a president. You have to have somebody telling you what to do. You have to have all these laws and regulations and rules and all this shit. So when people believe in this stuff and they think that's the way things are supposed to be, and then you come along and say, actually, you don't really need that. That's not the way things are supposed to be. They look at you like you're crazy, because their little tiny minds can't fathom anything other than what they've been raised to believe. And I'm going to be honest with you, Trace. I believe, this might sound narcissistic or egotistical or whatever, but it's the truth. I just don't think very many people have the mental capacity or IQ to understand that things shouldn't be this way. I just think the fundamental problem of humanity is that they're not evolved enough souls or wise enough souls to understand that they don't need these things. They just believe, and the ones that control the world know this, right? They know everybody's IQ. They know how smart people are. They know how powerful souls are. They know how many lives people have had. Before you come into this world, they have technology that can detect your soul, spiritual technology, detect everything you've ever been through and every life you've ever had. So they know everything about you as soon as you enter this world. The second you're born, they know all about you. They put you where they want to put you. And you have the life they want you to have. That's the way it is. And I know people believe in this whole soul contract and we came here for a mission, yada, yada, yada. Okay, fine. If you want to believe that, cool. I do believe to a degree that certain people came here of their own accord. But once you got here, once you entered into this realm of existence, they were like, all right, this person's going to be a threat. We got to put them here. This person is going to do this. We got to put them there. If they don't really consider you a threat, they don't care where you go. But if you're a threat to their system, meaning you have the capability of waking people up and seeing the truth and changing the world, they're going to put you in some really bad and tough situations because they don't want you to do anything. And if you notice, a lot of times the good people get put in situations where they can't really make a difference. They're just stuck in these places where they get surrounded by people that either don't want to listen to them or give them a hard time or whatever. But whatever the case is, they know everything about you when you get here. And they know who's going to do what and how they're going to do whatever. And they watch your life. They monitor everything. Like, people have this idea where, oh, my privacy. I don't want people to find out my privacy. I got to be careful what websites I go to, this, that, and the other. They know everything about you. They know all your thoughts. They know your whole soul. So there is no privacy on this planet. There are no secrets. And it is what it is. But again, they know everyone's capability on this planet. They know what you're capable of. And let's just say they miss one, right? Let's say they miss somebody and somebody slipped through the cracks and this person is special and powerful and they can change the world, but they didn't catch it in time. Well, they have technology to detect your soul's power level, how powerful your soul is. So if you start getting out of hand or making a ruckus or making a ripple in their system, they'll detect you and then they'll deal with you accordingly. I'll give you one example. Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee was teaching people how to use their energy. And he was being attacked consistently by demons, and he was killed in his sleep by demons. That's what happened. They killed him in the spiritual world. But whatever the case is, he never woke up from his sleep or whatever. That's because they attacked him in the spiritual world. They killed him. And long story short, when they did that to him, the reason why they did that to him is because they don't want someone like that in the world teaching people how to use their energy and having the power to fight back against them. That's the last thing that they want. You get what I'm saying? So they will detect you, they will find you, and they will deal with you. If you make enough of a threat, enough of a ripple. If you're just here and you're not really a threat and you're not really doing anything, they don't really care. They're like, whatever, this person's just here. Ileana said, what's going on, Tiger? What's going on, Mary Jane? I'm going to call you Mary Jane since you call me Tiger. So I guess I'm Peter Parker. I'll be Peter Parker. I'll be Spider-Man. He and I are very similar anyways. But yeah, long story short, that's what's going on. And again, the hope for me is to wake people up and hoping they have a eureka moment when they watch my channel, right? They're like, whoa, what he's saying makes sense. Maybe I shouldn't believe in this system. Maybe I should do something. The sad thing is that a lot of people that watch me already know this stuff, right? So it's like I'm preaching to the choir, right? Because you guys already know all this stuff. Like, you guys are smart, you're wise, you've watched Kim, you've done your research. So me telling you guys this stuff is like, it is what it is, right? It's not, you guys you don't need this stuff, but other people do. And those are the ones that I'm hoping that will get in here and watch me. I want everybody to watch me, right? But the ones that really need the knowledge are the ones that don't want to listen or learn, right? They're just like, whatever. This isn't for me. I'm just going to go watch Kim Kardashian sleep with another dude or something like that, you know? Like, that's the stuff that people want to watch. And I'm like, that's not going to help you at all. And, you know, they'll complain about the world being messed up, but they don't want to do anything. Ileana's laughing. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Ileana. Trace is like, yes, but at least you give us content to share with, which is great. I try, Trace. I try. But I'm going to be honest with you. One of the difficulties that I'm having with making videos lately is that everything is so stupid that I'm like, what do I talk about? There's so many stupid things going on. I could literally just go to CNN or Fox or whatever and just read everything that's there, and everything is stupid. I'm like, all of this stuff is a problem. And that's just CNN and Fox. Then I watch other content creators to get some information from them, like Tim Pool or The Quartering or these other people, to see what's going on in the culture war and stuff like that, or politics. And it's the same crap. And I'm like, okay, this is just stupid thing after stupid thing after stupid thing. And people, I see all these people complaining, right? Like in the comment sections, they're like, this is so wrong. This is so bad. This shouldn't be this way. And my only question is, okay, what are you doing about it though? Are you just one of these people that you go in the comment section and you complain about it? Or are you actually trying to make a difference? Are you trying to change something? Are you trying to do something? Are you talking to people? Are you letting people know where they're wrong? Are you showing them where they're wrong? Are you punishing people in your life that are wrong? And I'm not saying like whip them with a whip, but I'm saying like if somebody is wrong, you shouldn't be cuddling them, right? Because a lot of people, like I said before, they love their family, they love their friends, they don't want to upset people. And that's where the good people lose, right? Because the good people, they always want to be good all the time. Okay, cool. But is that helping the people that you love and care about when they're wrong? If you're always good to people that are wrong because you love them and care about them, are you really helping them? And do you really love them if you're just, catering to everything they say or pandering them or whatever when you know they're fucked up? Is that helping them? Is that making the world better? Is that changing anything? No, it's not. It's making things worse, right? So at what point do you put your foot down and say, okay, it's up to me to do something. I have to change the way things are. I have to take control of this situation in my life and affect the people that I know. And if everybody does that, then things start to change that way. That's the way it works. But the problem that I see, that's probably the biggest problem, is the people that are doing wrong are being put on pedestals or celebrated or patted on the head, rewarded for their misdeeds. That's the biggest issue that I have, and it's usually by people that care about them or love them. And I'm like, you're just making things worse. Like, you're not helping anything. Nothing's getting better. So you can't sit here, not any of you guys, but like I said earlier, when I watch people and I read the comments in their videos, they're sitting here complaining about, oh, this is so bad. How could this happen? We shouldn't let this happen. This should be. Well, then don't. If everybody that was saying that decided to do something, things would change. But people aren't doing anything. They're just talking about it. So I'm like, okay, well, nothing's going to change that. If you just keep talking about it and you don't do anything, of course nothing's going to change, right? Things are going to stay the same way. But anyways, I think I beat that dead horse. Trace said, hey, can you put the comments on the screen? Yeah. If you want to see Inception, I'll do that. Give me a second. And Trace said, your lives are great and making a difference. I hope so. And I hope that the people that are listening and watching are doing things in their lives to make a difference. Because I know anybody that I talk to or anywhere that I go, I try to spread the truth as much as I can. And if somebody says something that I know is wrong, and they're telling me, of all people, I'm going to be like, no, you're wrong. And I don't care who they are. They could be my best friend, worst enemy. I don't care. If you're going to say something wrong to me that I know is wrong, I'm going to tell you right on the spot. I'm not going to be like, yeah, I could see how you could, yeah, that sounds about right. Oh. No, I'm going to be like, no, you're fucking wrong, dude. Shut the fuck up. Let me tell you what it is. That's me. That's how I do shit. And guess what? Nobody does shit about it. Nobody says, oh, you're wrong. They're like, oh, I didn't think about that. I didn't know. Nobody ever told me that. I'm like, exactly. That's the problem. Nobody says anything. So I have to say it, right? And I'll say it. I don't care. I'm not worried or scared or afraid of anything. But yeah, let me fix the comments real quick. Give me a sec. Let me fix these comments. It's going to do Inception, just so you guys know. So you're going to see like a million screens. There's nothing I can really do about that. You're just going to see my screen go back like a million, infinity times. But you'll see the comment section. And so just look at, I guess, this right here, the bigger one. And if you wrote something and I didn't read it, that means it's been censored by YouTube. So these are the comments that are showing up. Divine Energy says, hello, beautiful soul. I got you again. Love and light to you. I appreciate you stopping by, Divine. And I reached out to you because, like I told you, I felt bad about the way I addressed your comments last time. So I don't want to be like completely dismissive of somebody telling me something. I was in a, I guess, groove, or not groove, but like in a mode where I was like, man, I'm so tired of good people being ignored, right? There are a lot of good people that are trying to make a difference and trying to help, and their loved ones don't want to listen. They would rather listen to some strangers on TV? Seriously? You'd rather listen to CNN or Fox or whatever, but you're not going to listen to people in your life that care about you and love you and are telling you what's good for you? That really sets me off. Like, I have zero sympathy or patience for people like that. So that's what set me off before, because you weren't the only one that was telling me that. There were other people that were telling me the same thing, and it just gets frustrating, you know, because I want people to do the right thing and listen to the right people, and it is what it is. I'll show you the comments that have showed up since the beginning. So these are the comments that have showed up, and I read every comment. So if you look at the comments that have showed up, I have read pretty much all of them. And if I didn't read them, I responded to them. Sorry, I dropped the mic. But yeah, so whatever you said, Ileana, you can put it on Telegram if you want, and I'll read it. Whatever comment they censored of yours. So that's another option, right? Because as you guys can see, YouTube with their censorship. But when we were over on Rumble, Trace told me that all the comments were showing up. Trace and Lynette. So nothing got censored over there. The only thing that I was concerned with is that people weren't able to get into the Rumble chat. And I know Eliana had problems with that. But yeah, because there were like, what, 25, 30 people that showed up to the Rumble stream, but only three people actually were talking. So I don't know what happened there. And that stream started off pretty bad. The sound was so messed up. I didn't know until Trace told me about it. Eliana said, okay, boy, I go there. You're funny, Eliana. So, yeah, is there anything you guys want to discuss? I was just watching a video about Fauci. I don't know how much I can say because, you know, that whole situation. Can't really talk much about it, the C-19. But, yeah, apparently, you know, he was trying to hide the fact that it started in Wuhan, that situation. I'm not going to talk too much about it because every time I do, YouTube hits me with a strike. I can't even talk about it. But, yeah, apparently Fauci was trying to cover that up. So, what a surprise. What a surprise. The mad scientist trying to cover something up. Who'd have thunk it, right? Trey said, best not to put a comment that might flag the algorithm and have RT's channel taken down. Yeah. I mean, I'm watching the comments, so if I see something that is out of bounds, I'll remove it. I'm generally familiar with YouTube's rules, and it was through trial and error that I figured it out. Watching other people, plus getting strikes and getting censored myself is how I figured out what they allow and what they don't. And that's the shitty part about YouTube. Their rules are so vague that the only way you find out when you did something wrong is when you did something wrong. Unless somebody else told you, right? Unless you watch somebody else and they said, don't do this, don't do that, you're not going to know until you make a mistake, and then you find out the hard way. Also, if you're watching, can you please hit the like, because apparently that promotes the stream and the algorithm, so it'll get more people watching. At least that's what they say. Can you also sub if you're not subbed? I would greatly appreciate that. I am trying to grow the channel. About 60% of the people that watch me aren't subbed, which is crazy. That's a lot of people. So I'd probably have like 1,000 subs if everybody that watched me was subbed. But it is what it is. People are free to do as they please. So yeah, any topics you guys want to discuss? Because like I said, this is more like a hangout today. I will be, again, for those of you that didn't catch the beginning, I will be streaming every day. I'll be alternating. It'll be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays will be YouTube. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays will be Rumble. And Sundays are off for now, meaning I may change my mind and maybe randomly stream one of those days or not. It's whatever. I might just take the day off. I don't know what I'm doing with Sundays. The Lord's Day, right? Ileana wrote over on Telegram. She said, "Haba haba." I said, "Don't pay attention to the psyop. They push because they are busy covering up the crime that actually didn't come from China, but from the biological research in the U.S. I told you to watch them videos that I posted. So you're going to keep trusting government until your pronouns are was, were." Good stuff. Good stuff, Ileana. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think everybody knows by now where this stuff came from. At least the people that watch me know. It's not a secret. And I think most everyday people know too. But they're still trying to lie about it and hide it and cover it up. And the problem that I have is that people are figuring things out too late. Look how long it took. It took 3 years of suffering and lockdowns and shots and all this nonsense, right? People losing their jobs, people dying, and all this crazy stuff that happened before people are finally like, oh, now we know what's going on. The government lied to us. But they got away with 3 years of murder, literally. So think about that. People take too long to figure things out. And by the time you figure this thing out, they're working on the next thing they're going to screw you over with. So what's going to happen when they do the next, situation? And people are scared of what happened last time. So and let's say it's a little worse this time around. The next time there's a supposed sickness, right? What are people going to do? You just going to go through the same process again? Or are people going to fight for their rights? Like, what's going to happen, right? Oh, Ileana, you are funny. Listen to Mama here. How old? Ileana, you are funny. You are funny. Because information was blocked and people who actually know things. Trace said, "This is a great time for me to join the lives because it's 9 a.m. in Australia." That's good. I'm trying to find a catch-all time, right? Where it's the best for everybody. I'm not sure what that time is. Right now I have it at 6. So, Divine Energy said, "This is sadly the biggest scam humanity had to live." Yes, and it is, like I said, it's sad because it takes so long for people to figure stuff out. Like what you were telling me about your family, right? And Trace told me the same thing, where they've taken the shot, and now after the fact, now they're finding out that it was probably a mistake, and they have all these ailments and stuff. This shot was not tested. It was not, it didn't have the proper testing. But even if it did, I don't think it matters. I mean, the point of it was to hurt people anyways. So you have people taking the stuff, and by the time they figure out it's bad or something is wrong, it's too late. It's too late. People have already gotten screwed. So, I don't know. I just wish people weren't so gullible and just fall for everything. Ileana's funny. Yeah, and that's another thing, Ileana, is everyone has their excuse as to why they have to take it, right? My family, my job, my this, my that, my other thing. Okay? So you're deciding what's more important. Your health is not as important as those other things, apparently. But now that people are getting screwed by this, now they're realizing maybe my health was actually more important than my job. Maybe my health was actually more important than something else in their life that they use as an excuse to get it, right? Like, I needed to go to this place, so I had to take it. Well, uh, Divine said, yes, my sister rushed to the hospital yesterday. She had, yeah, that's sad. That's very sad. I hope she gets better. I hope she recovers. Like, I think I said this in the last stream on YouTube. I talked about my friend, and he got the treatment. And, the shot or whatever. And he was telling me how he was having all these anxiety attacks and chest pains and stuff. Like, he can't breathe sometimes. And I told him not to take it. Before he took it, I said, you better not take that. You better not. But he's in the military. And they were telling people either take it or you're going to be removed from the military. And I told them, I said, I think the best thing for you to do is just leave the military if that's the ultimatum that they're giving you. This is coming from a veteran, right? Because I've been in the military, so I know how it is. But I told him, I said, hey, I think it's better for your long-term health if you get out. And he's like, no, I'm going to take it. I need to stay in. I need to do this, do that. I need to retire, blah, blah, blah. And now the dude, not only did he take it and he screwed himself, but he's not going to retire either because he's getting out. Because he's having too many issues, medical issues and mental issues. And it's all because of this shot. So he got nothing. He just got screwed. And I was very upset with him. And I said, dude, I freaking told you not to do this. You didn't listen to me. And this is somebody that I grew up with. This is like a brother to me. Now, granted, he's a hard-headed person and he never listens to me. But I was thinking he would listen to me at least on this one thing. And I was showing him proof and evidence that this was a scam and it was to hurt him, and he didn't listen. So now he's paying the price the hard way. He's learning the hard way. And his family told him the same thing that I told him, not to take it. And he took it anyways. Because, believe it or not, he actually has some smart family members. And they were actually advising against it. And they were like, you shouldn't take that. You better not do it. And he did it. And now he's screwed. So who knows what's going to happen in 5 years, right? Because from my understanding, this stuff is supposed to be more potent as time goes by, meaning it's going to have more severe effects. So if you don't die from it right away, you're going to eventually die from it later on down the line in a couple of years. At least that's what I heard. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. Trey said, that's so sad, Divine, and I hope she'll be okay. Yeah, I hope she's good, Divine. We obviously don't want people to die, right? Not good people anyways. But it's a sad world where the only way some people learn is to get hurt. Like they have to. It's like I made this example in one of my videos, and it's a simple example. But I said, like, if somebody touched fire and they got burned by it, but another person didn't touch the fire and they don't know it's hot and they don't know it burns, the only way for the person to know the fire's hot is to touch it, right? And then they touch it and they get burned, and then now they know the fire's hot, right? Even if the person that touched it already told you, don't touch it, I have experience in this, better not do it, you're going to get hurt. But the person that touches the fire, that hasn't touched it, they don't know, right? So then they go and touch it, and then they get burned, and they're like, oh shit, the fire does burn. Well, yeah, this person that already went through this told you not to do it, and they knew better, but you didn't want to listen to that, and you wanted to go ahead and try it for yourself, and now you're suffering or getting screwed or feeling the consequences of your actions because you wanted to be a ignorant person or whatever. I mean, it's sad, but that's the world. Ileana said, I'm giving you material for the show. Yeah, I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm trying to go back and forth. We have to come to experiment on you plunder your resources or I'm about to put this on the stream to see if you guys want to look at this instead. The decritical thinker has become the misfit of the world. This is not a coincidence. To maintain order and control, you must isolate the intellectual, the sage, the philosopher, the savant, before their ideas awaken people. Carl Jung. Yeah, that's how it is, right? Like I said earlier, when they know that you can make a difference, they give you a really hard life purposely so that you can't make as much of an impact as you would have if you had a good life, right? I'm giving you material here for the show. How old are you? Ask yourself why the majority of countries are working. By the way, Eliana, if you didn't realize, I'm purposely ignoring that question. But ask yourself why the majority of countries are working on bringing in CBDC, because the current monetary system is broken. It broke in 2008. CBDC is still a fiat currency and haven't fixed the problem. The problem is they create too much of it. As it can be created out of thin air, they want to keep that benefit from the current fiat system while removing the only benefits to us, autonomy and privacy of spending, and replace it with a control surveillance coin. Yeah, well, here's the thing. They already have control over everything, so regardless of what they replace it with or not, all they're doing is trying to make it more convenient for them, right? They already control everything. They control the banks, they control the money. So, I mean, it is what it is. Although Kim did say she was taking control over that, so we'll see. What if I told you everything is fake and gay? Morpheus. Funny. Yeah, but I told you I'm blocked everywhere. Alright. I read everything you put over there, Liana. Divine said, my sister is an RN, so they all listen to her. What's RN? Forgive my ignorance. I don't know what RN is. I would assume nurse. Registered nurse? I'm just guessing. I've never heard RN before. If you don't want to tell me, it's okay. You must be. No, I'm not, Ileana. I'm younger than that. So there, I gave you a hint. Yeah, that's what I figured, Trace. Yeah, and that's the other sad part, because a lot of these hospitals were getting paid to diagnose people with that illness. They were getting paid extra bonuses and stuff. So they were purposely diagnosing people with the illness with a fake test, right? And that's how they gave it validity, right? That's the part that people don't know, is how many hospitals were getting paid off to diagnose people with this crap and put it on their death certificates. And that's what was inflating the numbers, making people think that there were actually more deaths from that illness than there actually were. So you have doctors and nurses and all these people that were basically screwing people over, to be honest. They were lying to people and being paid off to basically kill people or lie to people. I don't know how to say it in a nice way, but they were just lying to people and deceiving people and hurting people when they were supposed to be helping people. So, yep. Experts say that a recent unnamed study of average people indicates that listening to unnamed experts reporting on unnamed studies proves you are dumber than the average fucktard. Okay, I knew it, but I had to put the bait. You sound young. Well, I appreciate that. Highlander said 100%. What's up, Highlander? Yeah, it's sad. Like, I saw a lot of things on BitChute that David Icke. I highly recommend you guys go check out David Icke on BitChute. Regardless of whether, anybody thinks he's legit or not, I definitely think he's legitimate, and the work that he does and puts out there, the information is very good. And I've seen a lot of things that he's done and exposed. And the stuff that I've seen, I was like, man, I can't believe I'm in this fucking world. It just boils my blood, some of the things I see. I get really, really upset. Like, I wish I could show you guys here, but YouTube would definitely not allow that stuff. That's why they removed him from YouTube, because he was just speaking too much truth. But the stuff I saw with this undercover nurse, and she was doing some research and exposing things, and it was just so bad, the things that they were exposing. It really pissed me off that people are like that. Divine said, I believe David. Yeah, he's a good. He, like I've said this before, I don't have any idols or role models, but if I had to pick one, he'd be the guy. Like, he'd be somebody. I definitely want to interview him at some point in my life and have one conversation with him. Because he's always, like, I never hear this guy say anything that I don't agree with. Ileana said if the man was not legit, they wouldn't stop him from traveling and censoring. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They shut him down everywhere they could. Because they know he speaks the truth, and that's what they don't want. And that's why I don't think, honestly, I'm going to have a long career on YouTube either. Because there are too many things I want to say that YouTube doesn't like. And if you saw the Rumble stream, then you know what I'm talking about. And that's just like a little bit, right? But there are so many other things I could say, but YouTube won't allow it. And all I can really talk about is mainstream garbage, right? Like, oh, what happened in the news? Just stuff that everybody already knows, right? Or stuff that really doesn't matter. Like, that's all the stuff I can really talk about. I'm surprised they let me talk about Kim. But like I said, they're probably going to review my channel at some point and try to silence that. Trey said, who else would you like to interview and why? I think you guys know another person that I would like to interview. I'll give you one guess. Just take a guess at who you think I would like to interview. Yeah. And I think you know why too, Trace. But like I said, I wouldn't mind interviewing some of you, or just having a conversation, right? Because it would be fun. Yeah, Kim. At some point, Alex Collier seems interesting. To heck with Kim. Yeah, not everybody likes Kim, but I just like her energy and her positive message, and her information is not common. It's not. I don't hear a lot of people saying the things that Kim says, or going to the degree or depth of the things that she says. It's very difficult for me to believe that she's making up all that stuff that she says. It's just too much. It's too much to make up. But I can't prove it, so it is what it is. Yes, Alex Collier. It's funny you say that. He was one of the first people that I saw when I first started to learn about the world and how the world was. And Alex was somebody else that I really admire. I really like Alex a lot. He's a good dude. And people are like, well, he's not legitimate. Like, the thing that bothers me the most about the truth movement or the good guys is that they're always trying to nitpick all the other good guys. I hate that. I'm like, stop infighting. We have enough problems to deal with the bad guys. Stop fighting each other. Like, it's so annoying. Like, the good guys are always, like, quarreling with each other. Like, oh, well, I don't like what this guy said, and I don't like what that guy said, and he was wrong about this minor detail. And I'm like, do you guys all realize that anybody can dismiss anything you say all the time because you can't prove any of it? So, if you start nitpicking every little thing that everybody says all the time because you don't like one slight detail that was off in their story compared to yours, we're never going to get anywhere. It's like, stop being so petty. That's the biggest issue I see with the good guys of the truth movement, right? It's always nitpicking at the little shit. Like, stop. Just listen to the person. If they have a good energy, if they're trying to help humanity, if they're trying to do a good thing, then let's go with that. Let's focus on that, right? Let's try to work with that. Hey, Justin, what's up? Justin said, Charlie Ward, I do not like. I don't know much about Charlie other than I've seen him talk a few times, but I don't remember what he was saying. I was like, okay. He seemed legit at the time, but I haven't seen him in a long time, but I've heard a lot of bad things about him. I've heard a lot of whatever about him. I don't know. Again, I think that's the biggest issue with the good guys is the egos. The egos that these people have is what's causing these rifts And everybody wants to be right over the other person. It's like, well, my truth is more superior than your truth. Therefore, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm more right than you are. And I'm like, stop. This isn't working. This isn't helping anyone or anything. Trey said, me too. He has such an evil energy. Yeah, I don't know much about him, so I've just seen him a few times. He seems to be putting out good information, but again, I don't watch everything all these people do, so I don't know to the degree of how bad he is, so I can't really speak about it. Divine Energy said, I love Alex. Yep, I love Alex too. Every time I watch that dude, he gives me a good feeling every time. That's how I know somebody's good or not. I can just feel them, and I know. Justin said, how can Charlie Ward be in charge of Nassar? Yeah. Justin said, it makes me think Nassar is a hoax. Yeah, I've heard some people say that it is a hoax. What I will say is that that's one thing I don't like is people promising money, because the system, as I see it now, the money system, is controlled by evil. It's still running that way. It's still being run that way. It's still being controlled that way. How do I know? Because I'm looking at the world and I see what's going on, and I don't see a change. I don't see anything different happening than what's always been happening. So to me, it's still the same system. Nothing has changed. So if you're making promises about a system that's controlled by evil, when you don't have control over the system, and then people are expecting something and you don't deliver, that's where you start to lose people, right? Because I'm hearing a lot of promises and a lot of this and that and the other. I'd say hold off on the promises until you know for sure you have control over this, and then start telling people you're going to do this thing, right? Instead of telling people prematurely, and then they come back and say, well, why didn't this happen? It is what it is. Divine said, Charlie Ward, I stopped hearing him. Highlander said, no, Charlie Shyster. Louis said, Charlie claims to be in charge of giving money with Zara Jazara. He lied. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Is I keep hearing all this stuff about people having control over money that they don't have control over, and making promises, and then people get upset and they're like, well, you promised this thing, but it never happened, and it is what it is. It's a mess. Divine said, LOL, Charlie Ward, he's lying. And Highlander said, I want to go where Alex is going. Andromeda. Yeah, they sound like lovely people over there in Andromeda, don't they? Louis said, I believe Charlie was removed and now body double. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Louis, because I see that with a lot of people. I see a lot of people that were a certain way a long time ago, and now they're a completely different person. The most obvious are politicians, right? But I really think at some point some of these people were legitimate, real people, and now they're no longer who they were. They've been replaced by whatever, a bot, a clone, whatever you want to call it. Justin said, truthers claim we will live in abundance while they shield their merch. Yep, that's what a lot of people do, right? Kim said, dang, late again, not receiving notifications. Glad you showed up, Kim. I don't know what's going on with that, but I believe, like I said before, my channel is it's being censored a little bit. My subs stopped growing. My notifications aren't going out. People's messages are being censored. But that's why I went to Rumble and did that live stream, right? Because if things don't work out here, then I will be exclusively on Rumble. So it is what it is. I can't do anything about YouTube and their stupid rules and the shady stuff they do, right? They control this garbage for now. Let me see. Ileana's putting a whole bunch of stuff over here. Ileana said, the people who shut down your businesses and destroy your careers are now asking that you reelect them so they can keep their jobs. Never forget about what they've done to you. Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because people are having this faith in Trump, right? They're like, oh, Trump is going to get us out of this mess. Trump is this, that, and the other. Trump is the one that got us in this mess. Trump is the one who didn't fire Fauci or have Fauci up there preaching his nonsense when Fauci was full of garbage. Trump was the one that started the lockdowns. Trump was the one that was pushing the shot. It was Trump's shot, right? He was taking credit for it, wasn't he? Trump was the one that brought you January 6th. He set up all his followers to get screwed over. Trump is the one that's making NFTs instead of making serious political announcements. Because he's trying to milk his viewers and followers or supporters, whatever. Trump is just full of crap. But people are like, Trump is going to save us from Biden. Like, you guys are so stupid. I want Trump to win so that he can show his true colors and everybody can see him for the snake and the bitch that he is. That's what I want. I don't want Trump to win because I like him or I support him. I want him to win so he can show the snake behind the man, behind the mask, right? He can show his true self to the world. And he's going to be in office, reelected. It's going to be his last term, right? So he's going to really show what a piece of shit he really is. He's not going to do anything. But people are hoping for this guy, and I'm like, okay, I hope he does win. I hope he does win. So you guys can shut the fuck up about this politics shit. 'Cause I'm tired of hearing about it. Everybody's always, this guy's going to save me from that guy, that guy's... Stop. Nobody's going to save you from anybody but yourself. You gotta do it. Governments have descended to the level of mere private corporations. United States means federal corporation, an agency, department, commission, board, or other entity of the United States. An instrumentality of the United States. This winter, keep warm by burning all the previous advice we gave you that turned out to be bullshit. It's nice as fuck, so if you see me being mean to someone, they earn that shit. You're putting all this stuff over here, Ileana. Plan to take down satanic cabals is actually a plan made by the satanic cabal. Yeah, that's what it's... They control everything. They control both sides. And people are like, oh yeah, Trump's gonna save me from the people that he works with. Yeah, okay. Keep waiting for that one. Charlie is a bullshitter and QF's hopium. This is Mike Flynn, side of Q. You are ignoring me? Oy vey. Yep. I posted the story with Mr. Jones and Mr. Smith. I hope you watch it. I'll have to check it out. There needs to be 36 hours in a day, though, because I really am short on time these days. It's making it hard to keep up with some of the stuff you guys want me to see. Highlander said, I followed you on Rumble. Appreciate that. I don't think we'll have another election. I'm glad you said that, Highlander. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Trey said, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Okay, Sonny. What does Kim call Sonny? She calls her Sunday. Okay, Sunday. No, I'm just kidding. Leia. Or I call you Leia, but you're Trace. I'm just kidding. Give me 1 minute, and I'm going to address what you said, Highlander. I think it's very important. I'm going to take a 1 minute break, okay, guys? And then I'm going to address what Highlander said. Feel free to say whatever you guys want. All right, I'm back. So, Highlander brought up a good point. I talked about uh, Farsight. I mentioned them. I'm going to mention them again here. And if you guys aren't familiar with Farsight, they're a remote viewing organization run by Courtney Brown. And I've been watching them for 7 years, I think. 6 years. It's been a long time I've been watching them. And they're very, very, very legitimate to me. Right? It's up to everybody to interpret whatever knowledge or information you come across on your own. Yada, yada, yada. Right? You guys can make your own decisions on what you want to believe and what you don't want to believe. But the things that I've seen them say and research and remote view to me are very, very credible. I've seen them predict future events and stuff like that. So I find them to be a good watch and good for knowledge and information. They put out a few months ago something about what was going to happen in 2024. And they talked about, I think it was them remote viewing the election. And I haven't actually seen that project. I just saw the preview of it. And from the looks of it, there's going to be a lot of chaos surrounding that election, regardless of who wins. And that's what they were looking at or predicting. So obviously the future can always be altered, can always be changed. So it's not fluid. And they do those disclaimers whenever they do their remote viewing. They say, things can change, yada, yada, yada. But most of the time the things they say do happen. So I'm looking towards, and it just makes sense if you look at the climate and the opposing factions and the way the country is divided. It's just ripe for a civil war or some kind of conflict, right? So we'll see how it happens, how it plays out. But I'm pretty certain that whoever wins the next election, it's going to be chaos, regardless of who wins. It doesn't matter. The left is not going to want Trump, and the right's not going to, and the right's not going to want whoever the left props up there. Apparently Biden wants to run again. If Biden wins again, that would be some shit. Highlander said, where's Farsight? YouTube, Rumble, etc. I'll try to link their channel here. I'll show you real quick. Let me see if I can pull them up. Give me a second. Let me find them. I'm going to turn off the stream for a little bit so I can look for them. Give me a second. Let me try to find it. Let's see. I'll show you their page. Alright, cool. Hold on a sec. Alright. This is their page right here. It's on YouTube. So I'll try to link it, I guess. The stuff that they... I've been constantly blown away by the stuff that they remote view. Like... Eliana, you're funny. I'm putting it in the Telegram chat too. But again, all knowledge is, the truth is basically, what do you want to believe, right? That's what the truth is. That's the truth. It doesn't matter what anybody shows you or presents to you. You have to believe what you want to believe. Period. That's the truth. Anybody can show you anything. I tend to believe these people. They make a lot of sense with a lot of things they say, similar to Kim. So, like, I'm just going through their page, and I could give you a brief overview of some of the things that I have seen that they've researched or remote viewed. I stopped watching them a while ago though because I just stopped watching everything. It wasn't anything to do with them per se. I just stopped doing research. Let me see. Like they look at all types of stuff. The annihilation of the dinosaurs. This was very interesting. I mean, all of the stuff is good. All of the stuff is good. The reptilians here and now. Like Ra, the sun god. They go and look at who's Ra. Who was he? How was he? Was he a real person? All this stuff. Or a real entity. The Eye of the Sahara. Göbekli Tepe. I think that's what it's called. Like stuff like this. I was like, I've never heard of this before. But then I saw it and I was like, wow, that's freaking crazy. Just stuff you wouldn't think about. Zeus. Where we came from. Human leadership has been compromised. The death traps. This one is very crazy. The death traps. I highly recommend, if you're going to watch one, the first one you watch is the death traps. This one right here. Because it tells you the amount of control that is being had on this planet by the evil ones. And it's pretty bad. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, if you just showed up or if you're watching, can you hit the thumbs up? Because apparently it helps the algorithm. I forgot to say that. Highline said, with all the researching, I've never seen them. Cool. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's gonna, like, if you start watching them, it's gonna be similar to Kim, where you know how you started watching Kim and you weren't expecting her to say all the stuff she said. It's the same thing with these people. Like, you're like, really? That happened? So, let me see. What can I talk about? I love how it does this Inception. Let me turn the Inception off for 1 second. So, like, the death traps. I'll give you an overview of that. Basically, there are these spiritual gates that are surrounding the planet. So you only see them when you die. So you know how they say go to the light? Well, and see, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but you know, I'll give you an idea of what to look at because there's a lot of things that they show. So this is just an overview. But when you see the light and they tell you go to the light, you're actually going into space and you're about to be electrified. Your soul's about to be electrified with what my friend calls dark lightning. So it's a spiritual kind of lightning that shocks your soul into forgetting everything that you ever knew in your previous life, and then you come back and you're recycled. And when you come back into this body, you have no memory of what happened. So you just forget everything. And you start over and you keep doing this over and over and over again. So you know how people are like, karma and all the stuff that people believe in. Nobody was put here to suffer. Nobody was put here to be tortured or hurt. Like, that's something they want you to believe, that you have some kind of life lesson that you need to learn on this minuscule speck of a planet. So you have to keep coming back here and doing this shit over and over and over again. That's what they want you to believe. And the more you believe in that shit, the more you keep on playing into their system and their programming, and you keep recycling into this shit. But long story short, from my understanding, it's impossible to break through those death traps unless we have outside help that helps us dismantle those death traps. But here's the other problem. Humanity has to, like, you know how Kim says, hold the light and be good and stuff like that. Humans have to be shown that they want to be freed before they are helped. So if humans don't want to free themselves, then there's not going to be any divine intervention or outside help. It's just going to be the same shit happening to us forever until we figure out what's going on and we stop it. Now, our lifespans were shortened purposely because once you start getting older and older and older, you start to see the world for what it is. So remember how I said that the treatment for the illness that's been going around for the last 3 years was created to kill old people. Remember I said that? I'm not going to get too specific because I don't want YouTube to hit me with another strike. But because of that, they don't want the old people to spread the truth, right? So the older you get, the wiser you get, the more you see the world for what it is. But when you get rid of the old generation and then you brainwash the new generation to be these woke psychopaths, then they don't have any values or any idea of how things used to be because they're not being taught by the older generations. So long story short, that's what they want, right? They shorten the lifespans of humans purposely so that humans can't live long enough to figure out what's going on the planet. So it falls on people like us and people like Farsight or Kim or whatever to spread as much knowledge and truth as we can while we do have this short life to try to make a difference and wake up as many people as we can. And all the while we're doing this, they're working against us to suppress us and stop us and silence us and remove us from everywhere so that people don't hear what we have to say, right? So that's what's going on. But Highlander said, definitely going to view them tonight. Lynette said, weird thing, I've seen like 3 independent remote viewers talk about the death traps. Yep. They exist, from my understanding. Highlander said, no, don't go to the light. Refuse the light. Lynette, they can't all be wrong, can they? Yeah, and that's what I was saying about finding credible sources and taking their word. There's a difference between believing the masses and taking their word, and then believing people that are credible and taking their word, right? You can believe the masses of ignorance that believe stupid stuff and be like, oh yeah, that's what the truth is because everybody believes it. Or you can find a few people that actually know what they're talking about, compare notes, compare facts, compare whatever they're saying and say, well, this kind of makes sense based on the fact that all these different people that are legitimate are saying the same thing. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I tend to do is I find the people that make the most sense and I try to combine all their knowledge and make a picture out of it. Ileana's, she said, I'm waiting for you. Poor Ileana's being ignored. Ileana said, I'm here for you so I can make you laugh. I'm on top of most I can learn at this point. That's what organized religion is pushing. Some people are dumb to understand that are slaves. They actually don't mind it. Be aware stupid people never stay in front of a bull in the back of the horse. Any side of stupid people. Hello. Hello, Ileana. Justin said, I've also heard go to the blue light and avoid the white light. Yeah. From my understanding, any sort of light that you see when you die is going to shock you out of whatever life you just had, and you're gonna forget everything. So I say go away from any light. Don't go anywhere near any light whatsoever. But apparently there's a way to escape if you're a powerful enough soul. But there's this infinite universe out there, and they want you to believe that you're supposed to keep getting recycled on this planet for millions of years to learn some kind of bullshit lesson. How many of you people feel like you need to learn something? And if you feel like you need to learn something, tell me what it is. And after you tell me what it is, think about the fact that you knew what it was that you needed to work on. So do you really need to work on it if you already know what the problem is? You already know, right? So what do you need to work on? Just think about that. Make it make sense. Listen and silent have the same letters. That's some great wisdom, Ileana. Never knew that. Ileana with the truth bombs over at the Telegram chat. But yeah, again, I think what I'm going to do on YouTube, because they're so censorious, I'm probably just going to share some knowledge when we do these lives. So I'll pull up some some notes and things that I have, and I'll read from that. So I'll probably start with something that I really want to share. Unless there's something you guys recommend. And again, if you guys have some knowledge or information you want me to look at and share, that's not going to get me removed from YouTube. We could do that here. Like Ileana, I know you said there's things you want me to see. So I could pull stuff up. If it's on YouTube, I could pull it up and we can watch it here and we could talk about it. You know, we could do like a little, I don't want to call it a study session, but I guess doing some kind of research for whatever you guys think is worth looking at. Lynette said, Highlander, I suppose they could be copying each other, but if you were going to be spreading stories, I don't think it would pick such a negative story. You want hopium instead. And Highlander said, but if they erase your memory, how in the hell do you make it right? Jeez. Well, your soul always retains the information. And your body has locks on it, right? DNA locks that stop you from being able to access your knowledge. But if you work at it and you meditate and you're able to break through those locks, then you can access that information. Also through hypnosis. And I've heard people, I forgot the guy's name. I think his name was Dr. Weiss. He does hypnosis, past life regression. If you guys have ever heard of Dr. Weiss. And he helps people with current issues they have in their life by regressing them back to a past life that caused the trauma, which is pretty interesting, the things that he's been able to do with people. Highlander said, they won't let me see Ileana's comments. Why? And then Ileana said, I'm done learning. I told you already. I don't believe in reincarnation. Okay, Ileana. Yeah. The only reason why reincarnation exists is because these guys are forcing people to reincarnate. Your soul never dies. You could we're supposed to be immortal. We're supposed to never die. That's what's supposed to happen. But of course your soul never dies, but also your physical body is not supposed to die either. And there are ways to reverse aging and all of that. But some people are like, well, I don't want to live to be that old. I'd rather die. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? So why are you living your life? You're living your life so that you die? Nobody lives to die. Everybody wants to live. But then they have this crazy notion that, well, because everyone dies, I guess I just want to die one day. There's nothing wrong with a little death now, is there? I hate people that say that. They're so stupid. We're not supposed to die. Period. End of story. If you want to die, that's supposed to be a choice that you make. So if you want to leave your physical state and go into a spiritual state and inhabit another physical body, that's supposed to be a choice that you make. It's not supposed to be forced on us like it is on this planet. It is what it is. People can believe whatever the hell they want. Ileana said, if you lose your sense of humor, you are a walking dead. Yeah. Trace says she's chatting it. She's chatting in the Telegram chat. Yeah. That's what where I'm reading it from. Can you put the chat back on screen? Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. 1 second. All right. There we go. Cool. Remember, I read all your comments, so if there's a comment that I didn't read, that means I didn't see it. So yeah, there are so many things. I've mentioned this channel before, but I'll mention it again. Mr. Ballin. Have you guys, who's heard of Mr. Ballin? That's another channel I highly recommend you guys watch. If you want to see how crazy this world is, watch Mr. Ballin. You'll see how crazy this world really is. I mean, Kim says it too. Kim says, if you guys knew how bad things really were, you guys wouldn't even want to be on the internet. And she's right. The world is a really dark place. Very bad. Very bad. It's just, there is some truth to the whole hold the light thing, because in order for things to get better, you have to have a positive mindset, right? But it's very difficult because we're surrounded by evil. So it's tough. Highlander said, yes, a few of mine got this code. It came up and it wouldn't post. Moonshine Girl said, I like him. Yeah, he's cool. Mr. Ballin is cool. It's one of the few people I like on YouTube. Trey said, I subscribed when you first mentioned him, and he's great. Yep. Mr. Ballin. Okay, now I have two more. I'll spell it for you. Mr. Ballin. Like that. I recommend watching every single video he puts out. So go all the way to the start and just watch everything. And you'll see how crazy this world is. If you don't like scary stories, and the scary thing about the things he says is that they're real. It's not just scary stories, it's real stories. Real scary stories. Things that actually have happened. So if you watch from the beginning, he'll tell his story about the things that have happened to him and other stuff like that. And then he starts getting into different things that people send him or tell him, or research that he's done, 404s, or I think that's what they're called, 404s, missing 401. No, missing 401, that's what it's called. I said 404. Missing 401s and stuff like that. This world is just crazy. Lynette said, my comment not showing up about Ileana's post video regarding Mike G. Drug cartels. Everyone needs to watch. Yeah, if you're having issues with posting comments here because YouTube is retarded, just go into Telegram and post a comment over there so I can read it out. Lynette said, I'm not dying because someone else wants me to die, like the fucking government incoming. Incorporated, I guess. I know how to curse in gypsy language. Stay away from drugs and you live longer. Sounds good. I put that on my list too. Oops, Lynette. Yeah, I would love to watch things with you guys and discuss things, but I have this, I guess, ethical conundrum. Even though React content is technically not against YouTube rules, so like me reacting to someone's videos, it's allowable. But I also have this thing where I'm like, do I really just want to take somebody's video and just watch it? But I do want to talk about these things, right? Like I wanted to show you guys the Farsight stuff. I wanted to show you Mr. Ballin. I even want to watch some of Kim's stuff, but you know, Kim doesn't want people sharing her stuff everywhere, so it is what it is. And I respect that, you know, if people don't want their stuff being shared everywhere. But then again, the stuff is so important that it needs to be talked about, right? And shown. Like, I would do so much better if I could just watch Kim's videos with you guys and just talk about it. I think that would be cool, but it is what it is. So, yeah, let me think what else I can give you guys to look at. I already said David Icke. If you're not watching David Icke on BitChute, I highly recommend you go to BitChute and watch David Icke too. He's constantly exposing things over there. And his son, Gareth Icke, they always bring on these guests that talk about things that are going on that people aren't aware of. But they won't allow that stuff on YouTube. Highlander says, so what's up with Kim? Anything intriguing? I'm slacking a little bit on the Kim content because no reason other than time constraints. But either tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna try to put out another video. I'm gonna try. But I'm trying to like watch everything. I'm not up to the current date on the things that she has said. But I'm trying to watch everything and then talk about everything that she puts out. So I only have 2 videos so far for the first 2 weeks of January. The next one's going to be the 3rd week of January, and so on and so forth. So you know how she does 3 videos a week, or 3 UNN talks, or whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to do a video per week. And it takes time. It takes like 3 hours to make those videos, because I have to watch them and then I have to write notes and stuff like that, and then make the video. Ileana said, I'm on the phone with a friend. See you in a bit. Alright, cool. Kim said, Deep State not giving up. No update today from Kim. And Moonshine Girl said she didn't give update today. Alright, cool. Highlander says, Sunny seems like a sweet spirit. I hope she doesn't get caught up in any mess. And Trace says something big must be happening because she didn't do an update after the news today. Yeah, Kim is very busy, so she doesn't always do updates all the time, but she tries. I think sometimes maybe she just doesn't have anything to say, right? maybe nothing reportable, because she did say there are things that she's not going to say, right? So she might be doing things and she might not want to talk about those things. So maybe that's what's happening. Who knows? But yeah. Kim was so busy over weekend she couldn't give update today. Probably. I know I've been busy and all I've been doing is trying to figure out what I'm doing with the channel. You know, personal stuff plus the channel. And it's very time consuming. Very time consuming. So if I'm just doing this and it's taking time, I can only imagine how constrained she is on time, how little time she has to do anything. So yeah, when I'm not like making videos or doing lives, I'm looking at information. I'm doing research. I'm trying to understand what's going on in the world. You know, stuff like that. So I'm not just like not making content. I'm looking at stuff. But the Kim stuff I put in its own category, so I don't just like watch Kim's video and then watch somebody else's video. If I'm gonna watch Kim stuff, I dedicate a whole day to that. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna watch Kim today and just focus on Kim, because she puts out a lot of information. So I don't want to, you know, watch too many things at the same time. So yeah, tomorrow's stream is going to be on Rumble, by the way. It's going to alternate every day, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Rumble, YouTube, Rumble, YouTube, Rumble. And Sundays will be off. Lynette said, no, Sunny said she was busy and plans on updates soon, maybe before Wednesday. Okay, cool. Moonshine said, anyone listen to Jason from Arcaic's channel? You guys know who that is? I've never heard of him. You guys do introduce a lot of people I've never heard of before. But they do put out some information, because I've checked out some of the links you guys have told me to look at. When you and your younger friend are going to get toxic chemicals injected into your body to keep you healthy. What a nice meme, Lynette. Moonshine, what is he about? What does he put out? No, but now I have another one to my list. Yeah, like I said, whoever you watch, whoever you listen to, whoever you think is credible, just keep an open mind and try to compare notes. And if you see a common theme being repeated across all the credible sources that you have, then 9 times out of 10, I would say that's the truth, right? That's how I look at stuff. Try Brandon Lee O'Connell. Hmm. So many people I have to look at. I had somebody send me something on Instagram, and I went to go look at it. It was some noise. It was a little strange. I couldn't really make anything of it, so I haven't talked about it. But they wanted me to look at it. I looked at it, and it was just some noise. It sounded weird, but I couldn't tell you what it was. It could have been an alien or something, but it was really loud and obnoxious. That's the only thing I got from it. I was like, this noise is annoying. So I just kind of stopped looking at it or hearing it. Moonshine says he has theory of resets. What does that mean? Theory of resets. I'm going to take a quick minute break. I'll be right back while you guys talk about whatever. Alright, I'm back. Highlander said, I hate to leave you all cool people, but gotta run an errand. I'll watch the replay. Alright, cool. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Alright. So yeah, Moonshine, you said he has theory of resets. Could you give like a little small like sentence explaining that? It sounds interesting. I think that's what I'm gonna do from now on. I keep saying this every stream and I never do it. It's because I always like set up the stream just before I go live, so I never have anything ready. But I want to have like videos and things we can look at and talk about. Guess I'm gonna have to steal people's content. But there is a lot of important things that need to be shown or spoken about. Lynette said, why was G. Maxwell hiding out in New Hampshire of all places on our watch right now? For answer. Yeah. You mean the lady that was working with Epstein, right? Yeah. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with that situation. Very crazy. The amount of craziness in this world and the things that people don't know are going on. The stuff they do behind the scenes. Like Kim said, if people only knew how bad things really were. If you watch Farsight, Remote Viewers, you'll get a glimpse of how bad things really are. Because they remote view a lot of stuff. Like they remote view Area 51 and what was down there, all the way at the bottom level. Let's just say hell is just a word. When you actually see what's down there, it's like, really? There's so many crazy things. Same thing with Mr. Ballin. You watch some of the stories of how people disappear, or things that happen to people. It's a very dark world. Very dark. Yeah, that's why like when I see somebody like Kim and she's speaking a good message, right? She's trying to help people and trying to be positive and do the right thing and save humanity. I kind of tend to latch onto that a little bit, right? Because there's not much of that going on. There's a lot of talkers and a lot of people that say they're good, but they're not. They're pretenders, fakers. I don't see Kim as a faker or somebody that's pretending to help. And that's me saying based off of, it doesn't even, even if everything she said is made up, the fact that she's trying to do what she's trying to do and say the things she's saying is still better than most anybody else. Because like I said, anybody can be making up anything, right? Like people are like, oh, she's making stuff up. I'm like, well, who isn't, right? Like if you say she's making stuff up, then everybody's making stuff up. Everybody's full of it. You can't really believe anybody, right? Like who isn't full of it? That's where it gets convoluted and complicated. I really want to look at stuff right now. I think the next time that we do this, I'm going to have some videos that we can watch and talk about and discuss. Either that or I'll have some knowledge pulled up. I mean, there are things I could pull up now, but are you guys familiar with The original race of Earth. I think some of you should know. You guys know who was the original race of Earth? Yeah, Lynette said Mr. Ballin's a good storyteller. All true stories. Yep. That's why I've never seen anybody tell stories the way he does. He's just so good at it. And on top of that, they're true stories. It's not like he's making this stuff up. So it just makes it better, I guess. So you guys know what the original race of Earth was? Anybody? It's like a little quiz. I just want to see if anybody knows. Guess nobody knows. Abraxas? Abraxas? Uh, Abraxas. Where are the Abraxas? The original race of the Earth. There we go. Moonshine got it. The Saurians. Yep. Yeah, they were a humanoid-like reptilian race. They were the original race of Earth. And then you had the Dracos and all these other people come and invade and try to take them over. And dragons were created from mixing dinosaurs and Dracos and all this other shit. Yeah, I think people are just listening at this point. Nobody's really chatting. But yeah, that's something people don't really know. Is that humans were not the original race of this planet. And people think humans originated here. Humans were all brought here from other places. Humans are just basically aliens. Humans are basically different alien genes mixed with animal genes. That's what humans are. At least the humans on this planet, anyways. The old sad morning show, Land of the Lost, with those sleet stack. Yeah. And that's part of what I'm gonna read when I read uh, the history that I have of the Earth. I'm gonna read, well, not just the Earth, but the universe, pretty much. I'm gonna read how everything was created and how the Earth was molded and the races that were put here and all this other stuff. People really don't know. People think everybody came from Africa or something, or the Bible 6,000 years ago, and all this nonsense. I'm like, oh my God, people are so stupid. I'm like, well, read a history book, read a Bible. And I'm like, yeah, all those things are made up. That's not the truth. Let me see, what else can we talk about? All right, I got a good question. Where did the original human race originate in the universe? The first human race, and how did they look? So basically, what was the original human race and how did they look? Like, what was their general look? I'm gonna do like a game show, like Jeopardy or something. That would be funny. Anybody know that one? That's kind of an easy one, to be honest, if you follow any alternative knowledge. I think everybody's in agreement with that little bit of information. Anybody know? Are you guys sleeping on me? I think I gave you all ASMR and you all fell asleep on me. Nobody's saying anything. Yeah, definitely I'm going to have topics set up for the next show. Tall, red haired. Uh, mm, Tall, yes. Red haired. I think you're thinking of the original humans, from what Kim said, on this planet. I think Carrie said the same thing. It might have been just Carrie, not Kim. I don't remember. One of them said it. But I mean, like, in the whole entire universe, the first original race in the whole universe. Original human race, I should say. You guys give up? If you give up, I'll give you the answer. They were, drum roll please, the Lyrans from Lyra were the first original humans. From my understanding, they were very angelic. They looked like angels and they were white. And I believe they had blonde hair and blue eyes. Most of them, anyways. If I remember correctly. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Also, does anybody know why there's different colored human races in the universe? Why there's different skin colors? Vanessa, uncle. Do you guys know why there's different skin colors and different body types and all of that? Besides genetic mutation. Well, actually, kind of gave it away a little bit. Besides genetic manipulation, I should say. I kind of gave the answer away, but it's a little bit more complicated than what I said. All right, I'll just say it. So basically, when the first humans originated on Lyra, decided to venture out and explore the universe, uh, even though they all looked the same, when they started to settle in different solar systems, the stars of those solar systems, or the radiation coming off of those stars, mutated their DNA and changed them to look different skin colors and different body types and stuff like that. Of course, there's also genetic manipulation, like I said, from different other races that would come and change their DNA, or they would change their own DNA. But long story short, most of the mutations came from their solar systems where they settled. So depending on the star, it would alter their DNA and make them have different skin colors and stuff like that. So that's why there's different skin color races and all of that. And people don't know that. People think, oh, these races were created this way. No. So when you see different racial diversity on this planet, which is actually not very common, most races out there in the universe don't mix with other races. They stay to themselves. I guess you can call them racist, but they don't think of it that way. They just stay to themselves. But on this planet, they decided to do a little experiment and see if they can make all the races get along. See how that's working out, ain't it? It's working out great. But, yeah. I mean, to be fair, humans would probably get along if there wasn't all this evil manipulation and outside corruption, right? Like the evil ones that control the world. If they weren't pushing their agendas and causing division and hatred, then humans would probably just get along and learn to coexist. But they made all these countries and whatever governments to separate people and keep them from intermingling. But it was supposed to be an experiment to basically mix all these races together and make one new race. And that's not working out now, is it? Then I said they are studying DNA mutations in the dogs at Chernobyl. Yeah. There's so much research being done into, like, mermaids, right? Or a platypus or things like that. People are like, oh, that's such a weird creature. Or mermaids are just humans mixed with fish. That's what mermaids are. A platypus is basically all those animals combined. A beaver, a duck, and whatever the other creature is that it looks like. Somebody did that, you know. Somebody created that creature. They made it that way. It didn't just, nature didn't create it. It was created by somebody with splicing technology, gene splicing, putting all these different creatures together and making a new creature. And people are like, oh, that's such a unique creature. Oh, a platypus. I'm like, you idiot. You think that thing was made that way? You think nature just spit that out? No. Somebody made that purposely. But most people can't figure that out, you know. But same thing with mermaids, right? Mermaids are just humans and fish mixed. Somebody decided that was a good idea. Don't know who, don't know why. But they did that thing. There are other things out there I can't think of right now. Other bizarre creatures that have been put together from parts from other creatures, and people are like, oh, this is such a unique creature. Nature is so beautiful. Like, you guys are so stupid. You really think nature would make something like that? And it's so obvious that it was put together by something else. But people are dumb. They believe anything. It's the same thing like Darwinism, right? People believe that humans evolved from apes. And Darwin falsified his bones or findings or whatever, the stuff that he put together to make it seem like that's what happened. And people believed it. And people still believe it. I'm like, you guys are so stupid if you think humans came from apes. Do we have DNA from apes? Yeah, we do. But did we come and evolve from apes? No, we didn't. But we do have some of their DNA, as well as other animals. So it's not just apes that we have DNA from. But people don't know that. They think, oh, humans came from apes. I'm just saying random things, by the way. So if you guys have anything you want to add or share, feel free. I talked about this before, but the dinosaurs, right? People think the dinosaurs were wiped out by a comet. Moonshine, I'm sure you know what happened to the dinosaurs, right? If you know who the saurians are, then you definitely know what happened to the dinosaurs. There's so much stuff out there. Werewolves. People think werewolves are fake. There's werewolves. There's vampires. All this stuff that people think is fake is actually real. It's just that those creatures are very good at hiding themselves and staying away from humans. But if you go out in the wild, you'll run into this stuff. Like if you go out in the woods where nobody goes, that's where you're going to find all this crazy stuff. Mr. Ballin talks about it in his videos. He shows a lot of different encounters that people have had with different creatures and different things like that. It's crazy, the stuff that's out there. But people just don't know. What else can we talk about? You guys think the Earth is flat or round? You guys think that we landed on the moon? I'm just asking random questions that are coming to my mind. I'm just trying to see what you guys know or want to talk about. You guys are really quiet. I got about 5 or 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to shut it down. You're scaring me. Don't be scared, Lynette. Usually, if you're a good person, these creatures won't mess with you. Usually. I can't say always. Usually, you're protected if you're a good person. So if you're a good person, you don't really have too much to worry about. But sometimes good people do stupid things and they put themselves in bad situations and they run into the woods and go into the middle of somewhere they shouldn't be, and they invade one of these creatures' homes or area or territory, and then they end up missing. And then Mr. Ballin is making a video about it. It's the truth. That's what happens. Don't be scared though. The good thing is that for the most part, these things don't they're not in civilization. They're usually out in the wild purposely because they're actually more afraid of humans than we are of them. They know how crazy humans are. So like if we found out who they were, where they were, and how they were living, they know that we're most likely either kill them or try to experiment on them or some shit like that. So they kind of don't want to be near humanity or society. They just want to stay to themselves. That's why a lot of people don't see these things. Those creatures are very aware. Their senses are very high. So they're very good at hiding from humans and staying away from humans. And they really don't want to deal with humans. They'd rather be left alone. But if humans go into their territory, then that's when humans end up missing. Kim said, no flat earth. If it was flat, we all would have probably jumped off. Yeah. Show me where the edge is so I can take a dip, take a dive. Moonshine said, Dr. Ketchum said she had a whole genome of Anubis DNA and 2 whole genomes of the werewolf type. Lynette said we might have went to the moon, but definitely not in a capsule. I seen one, and it's nothing but a tin can. Yeah, we definitely have the technology to travel in space. At least the government does. Elon Musk probably has it too. You know, they show the stupid SpaceX garbage. That's just performative trash. They have way more advanced shit than that. But, you know, they're only letting the rabble of the humans, the civilians see bullshit because they don't want people to know what they really have. They're greedy. They don't want to share. I'll tell you a couple of stories. One, I'm going to show you guys something on Rumble. I'm going to share a video with you guys on Rumble. Not the whole video, but just a little segment that I want you guys to see. And it has to do with the moon. So you don't want to miss that. The Rumble stream is definitely going to be way better than this. Because like I said, there are only so many things I could talk about and say here. But on Rumble, I can show you guys stuff. We can talk about whatever. I don't have to worry about copyright or anything. Like, I don't think there's copyright. So I'll be able to show you guys a lot more stuff. I don't care. I'm just going to show you guys stuff. So it is what it is. Let's see. Moonshine Girls. Dr. Yeah. Lynette said, we might have went to the moon, but definitely not in a capsule. Oh, yeah. I already read that. And Jen said, good evening, guys. Just tuning in now. Welcome, Jen. Welcome to the stream. I'm just talking about random things, seeing what people want to talk about. What was the other story I was going to say? I was going to tell you guys a story. Crap. I got to remember it. All right, there was that. Damn it, I forget when I hate when I forget stuff. Like, I had a good story to tell you guys. It just slipped my mind. So I'm going to talk for like 10, 15 more minutes until I can remember and tell you guys the story, and then I'll probably be done. But if there's anything you guys want to say in the meantime while I try to remember the story I wanted to tell you. Oh, I remember. Okay. So, Lynette, like you said, the whole thing about us going into space and tin can and stuff like that. From what I heard, I'm going to tell you two different stories. One, I heard that apparently we did go to the moon, but when we got up there were aliens there, and they told the humans that got up there, they were like, don't ever come back here again. Something like that. I'm not sure exactly what they used to get up there. But when they did get up there, they were told not to ever return. So that's why we haven't tried to go back, because the government is scared of whatever's up there that told us not to go back. Something like that. But that's one story. And then Farsight, they remote viewed one of the moons, I think, of Saturn. And when they remote viewed it, they were able to go see what was on that moon. And what they found on that moon was a bunch of structures and basically things that were built there. And this, from what they said, those structures have been there for thousands of years. But they found all these structures that were built there. And they were built by humans. And apparently what was built there, because they were seeing who was there and what they were doing there, what was they were seeing what the structures were for, right? They were trying to understand, why are these structures here on this moon? Who would put this here and for what reason? So what they found was that apparently humans from Earth that were so rich and, like the Elon Musk types, they were so rich and filthy that they had decided they wanted to show off to all the other rich people on Earth, and they wanted to build the most extravagant and elaborate uh, resort that they could in the galaxy or in the solar system. So, according to the remote viewers, the view from that moon of Saturn was the most beautiful view in the solar system that you can have. So that was one thing. Then they built all these resorts. It was like a resort. So if you went there, it was like a vacation spot for rich people, like really rich people, like Elon Musk type people, right? And they were the only people that were allowed to go up there. But they had like built a base kind of thing. It had an ecosystem, and there was all types of, like, they would bring food to them, like transport things from Earth. So they had teleport technology. They can teleport things there from Earth. Uh, so they have portals and stuff, right? But basically, this was supposed to be a vacation spot for rich people from Earth, and it was up there on the moon of Saturn, and that was thousands of years ago. So it was just something that was interesting because that tells you, like, the reason why I told you the story is because they have the same capability now. Like, they can do these things now, and they're telling us, oh, Elon Musk launched a rocket into space. Isn't that cool? One day we'll get to the moon again and we'll go to Mars. When they can go wherever the hell they want in the solar system. But, they don't want us to know the truth. They just want us to believe this nonsense. So, it is what it is. Jen said, thank you, glad to be here. I'm following you on Rumble. Appreciate that, Jen. Jen said also, I believe you said also, meaning also on Rumble. I'm glad. The Rumble streams are going to be more exciting because I can show more things there and I can talk about more things there. The YouTube streams are going to be more like a hangout, just talk about whatever. I do want to have more topics the next time I do a YouTube stream, but I got to figure out what I'm going to talk about. Because I want to show things. I don't want to just talk. So maybe I'll just show knowledge and things like that. And we can talk about knowledge, like the true history of the universe, the earth, and stuff like that. But yeah. So is there anything you guys want to talk about? I'll stay for another 5 or 10 minutes. And Jen, I'm still trying to figure out what the right time is for people, because I know everyone has different schedules. Jen said, yes, the creatures are very real. Yeah, there's so many things that people don't know about exist on this planet. But people think that humans are the only thing. When I talk to people and they say, I don't believe in aliens, I only believe in humans. I don't believe in demons. I don't believe in anything supernatural. When somebody tells me that they don't believe in anything but humans and that's all that they think exists, that tells me how small their mind is. And those people are very difficult to speak with, for me anyways. Like, I don't like speaking to regular humans because it's difficult. Like, it's hard for me to talk about anything, right? Because I like talking about things like what I just said. And most humans don't want to talk about that kind of stuff. Jen said, no, I don't think we landed on the moon. Yeah, on the Rumble stream that I do tomorrow, I'm going to show some stuff about the moon. And we're going to get into some topics for real. Stuff that I can't show here because YouTube likes to censor. But I'll show some stuff over there. Should be definitely more lively and entertaining. Yeah, the moon thing seems... How do I explain this? There are a bunch of stories, but there seems to be two stories that are running alongside each other, and they could both be true. One is that we didn't go when they said we went, so you know how they put that whole moon landing on TV. Apparently that was fake. And pretty much everyone that I've heard speak about it in the alt media, for the most part, believes that was fake. Um, but apparently we did go there, just not when they said we went there. And that was the other story I said about us going up there, finding structures and aliens and other entities that said, don't ever come back here again. Because the moon is pretty much a satellite and a spaceship, and they're watching the Earth, and they don't want anyone to go there. They don't want humans to be up there. They do have humans up there, just the humans that they want. Basically, they're little slaves or puppets, but they don't want anyone else that ain't supposed to be up there, unless they put you up there. If they didn't put you up there, they don't want you there. Jen said, I saw a video that they filmed with studio they set up in Area 51 to make it look like we went to the moon. Yeah, I saw some stuff like that too. I talked about Area 51 earlier. And Farsight remote viewers, and how they discovered what was down there. And they weren't the only ones that said what was down there. There were other people. Tom said, I walk a lot in nature and just listen to every sound. There are so many sounds. Can you explain what creates all those sounds? Energy? Well, apparently the Earth has its own sound. I forgot who showed that. Might have been, I don't remember who showed it. But the Earth has a sound. The planets have sound. The stars have sound. So there are natural sounds that are created. And I think you're on the ball, Tom. I believe it is the energy that is vibrating, that is creating that sound from whatever heavenly body you're talking about, whether it be the Earth or the sun or whatever. Apparently every heavenly body has some kind of natural sound that it emits. Lynette said, yeah, none of us here are regular humans. We are irregular. Yeah, that's why I like talking to you guys, because you guys understand me when I say what I say. And you guys already know what I'm talking about when I say regular humans, because if you try to talk about any other stuff that we talked about to regular humans, they're not going to understand. They're not going to want to listen. They're going to think we're crazy, blah, 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 right? But they're just ignorant and unaware and unknowing. So little humans can understand what we're saying. What I used to do when I was in the military is I would have parties where I would bring people over in my unit, and we would just watch videos on UFOs and higher knowledge, and I would educate them. That's what I used to do. I used to have people come over, and they would tell me their stories of crazy things that happened to them in their life, and then I would show them things. And every time they left my house, they were like, "Wow, that's crazy." I didn't know that was going on. And I'm like, "Yeah, there are a lot of things going on people don't know about." And that was when I was in the military. People used to know I was the UFO guy or whatever, and it was funny because nobody would mess with me. Like it was like they would just hear me out, and they'd be like, if they wanted to tell me a story, like if they had a story to tell, they would come to me. They're like, I know I can tell him because he's gonna understand. But they would be like, I can't tell my family or my friends because they won't listen to me. They won't understand me. But they would tell me. So I heard so many stories. People told me so many crazy things. But yeah, that's what I used to do. That's why I tell people, I'm like, if I did this while I was in the military, there's really no excuse for anybody to not go out and try to speak the truth. But whatever. Where one brother said, Earth heartbeat is 7,83 hertz. Yeah. You guys have heard about the 432 hertz, right? I believe that's what it is. Something good about that Hertz. I forgot exactly all the information on it, but 432 is supposed to be like something really good if you listen to that. Anything in 432. But yeah, so I know some of you just showed up. That's why I'm sticking around a little longer. I was only going to do 2 hours, but I don't want to just leave you guys like that. So if you guys want to keep talking for a little bit, I'll stay for a little longer. It's up to you guys. Give me 1 minute. I'll take a quick 1 minute break. I'll stay for a little bit, for like 20 more minutes maybe. All right, I'm back. Lynette said, I dated an ex-Army Ranger who told me aliens are real. Lynette said they cut you off. What do you mean they cut me off? I said I was going to take a quick 1 minute, 2 minute break. Can you hear me? So yeah, there are a lot of things that are real. I had a friend that saw a UFO, and while he was on duty, and they told him not to talk about it. He told me about it, but he was like, I can't tell anybody else. So yeah, they there's so many things that they try to hide and cover up. But the funny thing is, they're kind of they already they already released files saying that UFOs are real, or they don't know what certain things are. So they're kind of admitting it. It's just that people either don't care or aren't paying attention. But not to mention that a lot of people have talked about it for years, so it's not like new, right? It's just people are, I don't know what's wrong with people. They're either ignorant or unwilling to learn and understand what's really going on. Because you can even find things online, like even in the 40s, when, you know, the guy from Germany, he had UFOs that he was using in the war, World War II. So, and there were newspapers talking about it in the United States, talking about the UFOs, showing pictures of them. So this stuff has been going on forever. It's just people don't want to understand or learn because they're worried about people, how people will look at them, right? They're like, oh, people are going to look at me like I'm crazy, or they're going to think this and that. That's why I tell people not to worry about what people think and just speak your truth or what you know to be the truth. Because once you start worrying about what somebody's going to think about you, then you're just going to silence yourself, right? Which is what they want. They want people to be quiet and not say anything. But anyways, I'm about to shut it down. Tomorrow, I will be on Rumble, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be showing some things about the moon and some other stuff that I want to show you guys. And then I think on Wednesday, I'm going to start sharing some knowledge and the history of the earth and stuff like that on YouTube. Because like I said, there are not too many things that I can say here. So sadly, I have to say things that aren't going to get me removed, right? So I'll just talk about earth history or universal history. And on Rumble, I'll really show things there. I guess that's the best way to put it. But anyways, I appreciate you all for showing up, and I hope you guys come to the Rumble stream tomorrow. The schedule is located in the community tab and also in the Telegram chat. And all the links to everything on my social media are in the description below. So every video and every live stream has all my social media links. So if you want to reach me on one of those, join the Telegram, support me on one of the other social media platforms, or support the channel. Anything you want to do is down here. So just click on one of these links and you can do that. But other than that, and yes, Jen said, looking forward to your Rumble live streams. Can't wait. I already did one on Saturday, Jen, so it's up if you want to go look at it. The first 10 to 15 minutes were rough because I was trying to figure out the sound, because that was my first time streaming on Rumble, and it's a little different than YouTube, so I messed up the sound. But once I got it figured out, it worked out, and I rambled and went crazy on there. But I think after I got all that stuff off my chest, I'm going to be more relaxed. I just needed to say those things. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh yeah, and I'm going to try to put out a Kim Gogan video, and maybe some other videos on some other stuff. So look out for those too. And thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.